Welcome to the Sales Process Podcast, the show for business owners and sales pros who are ready to push past limits and take their sales to the next level. Hosted by Shawn Derrick, founder of Legacy Sales Engineering. This podcast is built for high performers who demand more wins, more deals, more profit. We're diving into hard-hitting strategies, real-world tactics, and the latest tech to keep you at the top of your game. Plus interviews with elite sales pros to give you the edge you need. If you're serious about dominating your market, it's time. Sit down. Hold on. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Shawn Derrick here with Legacy Sales Engineering. Welcome back to another episode of the Sales Process Podcast. Each week, we're diving into the sales tips and automation secrets that help your business grow. This episode, we're diving into brand recognition and why it's so vital in today's world to have good brand recognition and brand authority in your industry. It's one of the single-handed most important things for your business is for people to look at your logo and go, hey, I've seen that guy somewhere, or hey, that says a lot of things about excellence, or you need to convey some really strong points throughout your branding. And we're going to dive into that today. So, today, if you get something from this, if you find the things that we're talking about helpful, I want to invite you to join me and a couple of other business owners in our Legacy Builders Mastermind community. We meet twice a week. We dive into really deep depths on systems and processes to implement these things, tips and tricks to get better. And we're trying to grow together and push together as a community. Check us out at jointhelb.com. That's jointhelb.com and get in on that. We'd love to have you. So, brand recognition, there's a lot of things that go into that. What is brand recognition, right? Well, brand recognition is your first impression online, typically before the client, the prospect ever gets to shake your hand, meet you face to face, know who you are. They've got to know your brand. They've got to have some type of trust and confidence in inviting you out to their home or to sit down with you at your place of business and come in to see you. They need to have some type of level of confidence there that you're the person that they want to book that appointment with, that they want to give the opportunity to earn their business. And brand recognition is where that starts. And you do that with a lot of different things. Your logo, your online presence, and your website are typically the most like pressing things at the front of those that brand recognition category. But really, this goes way beyond that. This goes on to how you conduct yourself, who you are as a person. It goes into what your vehicles look like and what the exterior of your place of business looks like. There's a lot that goes into your first impression, and everything that you do that a client can see without knowing you is your brand impression. It's your brand recognition. And so it's the level of access that you give your prospects to you before they know you. So, couple of things that we want to go over here. The first is your logo. What does a logo say about you in your first impression process? Well, there's a lot that goes into a logo. You look at a company's logo and you can typically tell if they are newer or an older mindset. Are they more traditional? Or do they like newer, edgier, shinier things? You can typically tell that by looking at a company's logo. Um, the colors in logos can push and represent softness or harshness or aggressiveness or subtleness. You can say a lot by just about the colors and the fonts that you're choosing in your logos. And so you want to make sure that when you're building your logos and you're designing those logos, that you're conveying the emotional touch and the feeling that you want to your ideal client. Doesn't mean that that's your only client, but what you've got to think about is, hey, who am I talking to in about 80% of cases when I sell my product? Who do I want to sit down? If I could sit down with one person every single consultation I went to and sell to one person, who would that be? And by and large, that's going to be about 80% of the demographic that you sell to usually. And so you're going to want to design that branding, that first impression to that person. So Pick colors that are going to communicate to them. Pick fonts that they're going to they're going to tie to and have an emotional connection to the fonts and the way that those fonts make them feel. Typically, if your client is a woman, you're going to have sweeping scripting fonts that are beautiful. If it's a man, you're going to have bold and aggressive fonts. And if it's a child, you're going to have fun and playful fonts. All of those things say a lot about you as a business owner and who you're looking to connect with. It's important. Colors tie into that. There's a whole bunch of color psychology out there. I don't even have time to get into that, but do some research on the colors that you're going to choose and make sure that the person you're talking to is going to connect with your choices. The second thing that you want to consider when you're looking at your logo is what do the images convey and the things, the layout of that logo, what does that convey about your business? Listen, if you're using clip art and things like that in your logos, that can be okay if it's done tastefully. Not everybody has a budget to go out and spend hundreds or thousands or even tens of $1,000s on a logo, sometimes even more. Some of these bigger, you know, Fortune 500 companies are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on logo work, and that's just not realistic for the average business owner. And so I understand that you can get a lot of stuff done with Canva and, some of the other tools that are out there. That's okay, but do it tastefully. Make sure that it still looks like quality, like you didn't just pull it out of Microsoft Clip Art and throw some font on there and make it happen. Invest in it and put some time and energy and love into the way that that looks. So logo is really important. It's typically one of the very, very first things that a client sees when they're introduced to your product. And so you want to spend some time making sure that it makes a good first impression. Your online presence as a whole is probably the second most important thing that that I believe is important, because without a good online presence, nobody's going to find you. They have to know you exist, right? And so you might have a beautiful website, but if you're not anywhere else except on a .com and nobody knows that your .com exists, then what does it matter? It doesn't matter if nobody can find you. And so you've got to be present in other places on social media, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, posting your videos and your content and getting out there, networking and going out to your local chamber events, your networking mixers, and those types of things. Get out in your community, join the Rotary, go out and get into a club of some type and meet people, sponsor stuff, sponsor little league teams in your community, because the more people see your brand and know who you are, the more that they're going to be able to find you and come to your website to look to see if you're a fit for the services they're looking for. But without an online presence, without a local community presence, your brand doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. So you've got to do some stuff to tell people that you exist. And the third most important thing is your website. And websites are really, really important because they are typically the thing that people see last before they decide to do business with you. All right. And so if you've gotten somebody on your website, you've already told them you exist. They've already decided that it's worth maybe seeing if you're the guy or the girl. Maybe this is the company that I want to give some time to sit down and see if they are a fit. Because let's be real, there's a sale that happens before the sale. And that's that, hey, do I trust this person enough to either one, invite them into my home and sell me their product, or show me how they can help me, or two, go to them and give them the opportunity to sell. So they're selling you an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 or 4 hours, depending on the product that you sell. They're selling you a segment of their life to see if they want to buy from you. And so you have got to convince on your website that 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 is worth giving you, so that they're making have a good ROI on that time. And when they get to your website, they want to see your receipts. They want to see how you can help them, um, how you've helped other people, the deliverables on that. They're looking for proof that you're the person that they should invite out, that they should come see and give that time away to. So make sure on your website that you've got really good descriptions and calls to action, and make sure that it's clear how you can help people and where you help people. If you miss that, you're not going to convert and you're going to lose a lot of opportunity. So There's a lot of things that go into rounding out a first impression and making sure that your brand is recognizable. You've got to build authority. You've got to put content out there. You've got to let people know that you can help them. And you do that by adding so much value to people that they can't ignore you. And so you build podcasts and free websites and templates, and you give stuff away, and you love people who one day might be able to help you with no expectation. And you give of yourself, and you are honest and tell people, hey, I can help you with this, or I can't help you with that. And you lead with integrity, and you build a brand around being a person that's worth doing business with. And eventually, when you help enough people, you don't have to market anymore because those people market for you. And when you've built a brand, I'll tell you, one of the most rewarding feelings in the world is when one of your clients brings you another client because they understand that you have helped them so much that they don't want someone else to miss out on the opportunity. And so when you've got that, when you've started getting your clients going out there and finding you other clients, you started to build some brand authority, some brand recognition that you can be proud of. And you need to get on the coattails of that, dig your heels in, and help those people because they'll keep helping you. So spend some time building your brand, invest in that logo, invest in that online presence, that local presence in your community, and get a website together that is going to give those people looking to do business with you a place to make that decision. Hope this helps. If this has helped you at all, remember, check us out on jointhelb.com. Would love to have you in our mastermind community. And if there's someone out there in your life that you think that this might help their business, hit that share button, send it to them directly, and let them know that it might be able to help them. My name is Shawn Derrick with Legacy Sales Engineering. I thank you very much for hanging out with me today, and I hope that you go sell lots of stuff this week. Have a good one.
This episode of the Sales Process Podcast has been sponsored by Legacy Sales Engineering, helping you sell great products with a great sales process. Visit www.legacysaleseng.com to discover your solution for every step of your business sales process. Subscribe to the Sales Process Podcast on your platform of choice today.